Hey, this is the chair guy. So, why do we do these backing tracks anyway? I mean, yes, they kind of mimic being in a room full of musicians, sort of, but what I'm more trying to get at is what do they do for us musically? See, when we first start playing, most of us, certainly myself, started out with some kind of a simple pentatonic box, and we tried to make music out of that. And that was kind of hard. It's kind of like trying to play a cappella or sing a cappella. You don't have anything behind you, you don't have anything giving you a direction. And that's what backing tracks really do, is they're kind of like guide rails. They just give you a direction. And they do that in two different ways. Number one, yes, they give you a key, so they're playing according to some kind of a chord progression, which is hopefully within the key that you're playing in. So it's telling you what notes you can play and when you can play them, but it's also telling you, and this is almost as important, maybe even more important in some ways, is how to play those notes according to the beat. So sometimes, even when you're practicing with your backing tracks, it's good to take a step back and play using a drum machine. And there's one in your Spark amp. Hopefully you have one of those. Remember, I'm not affiliated with Spark whatsoever. I just happen to think it's a great practice tool. Have either that or some other kind of a drum machine and just go to a simple blues beat, just a 1, 2, 3, 4 beat. And listen to it hard. I've got one dialed up here and we're just going to listen to it for a second. Okay, so this one's kind of interesting. It's got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's kind of a stress on that third beat. And so if we were playing a chord over that, we might play it kind of like this. Over the drums, it'll sound like this. And all I'm doing is kind of muting the strings, and then I'm holding it down really tight on that third beat, so it's... And that is pretty much what you're going to try and mimic with your playing too. Now, I don't suggest trying to think about this too much, which might sound kind of weird, but it screws me up when I think about it too much. I just listen to the beat and I try to keep in the back of my head 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And first I'm going to play using the box. Now, of course, the problem you run into, most people, when they try to play just using a single box, is it's really hard to be very interesting because you're having to play those notes in sequence. So now I'm going to try and do the same thing, but using the chairs. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of noodle, and I'm going to go from E. I'm going to start with E, and I'm going to go out, and I'm going to come back to this E, and I'm just going to come back and forth, this E, this E, this E, this E, and just kind of go back and forth and try to follow the beat. So try this out. Grab a simple beat on your drum machine or your Spark amp, whatever you have, and just play notes. Don't worry about what chords you would be playing over. Just work on starting with the root, coming back to the root, and generally stressing the note on whatever note is stressed. So in this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're kind of stressing that beat as you're playing. Try that out, and I'll see you guys next week.